Good morning, dear students. In this session, let us study another poem, Lady Lazarus by Sylvia Plath. In this session, let us try to understand the causes for multiple suicide attempts made by the speaker or the poet. And let us try to understand the biblical, mythological, and historical overtones of the poem. We find so many biblical references in the poem, mythological references in the poem, and some historical references in the poem. There are these overtones in the poem. Let us try to understand those overtones. Let us also try to know how Lady Lazarus emerges more powerful than the others on her own in the poem. And let us try to know who this Lazarus is also. After going through this session, let us learn that death is not the end of life but a gateway to emerge as more powerful one for the poet. We are scared of death. We see death as the end of this life. But the speaker or the poet in the poem looks at death as a gateway to emerge as the more powerful person in the poem. We also learn how society looks at death and how the lady in the poem looks at death. The way in which we look at death is different from the way the lady or the speaker in the poem looks at death. And we also learn the confessional and autobiographical elements that are there in the poem. So this poem, Lady Lazarus, was published in the year 1962 in her poems collections, The Ariel. And this poem consists of 28 tercets. Tercets means 3-line stanzas. Every stanza having 3 lines. There are 38 such tercets or stanzas in this poem. It is a poem of suicide and resurrection. Resurrection is taking rebirth, emerging out of death. So this poem is about the suicide on the one hand and the resurrection on the other. Lady Lazarus is a female or parodic version of biblical Lazarus. Lazarus is a character in Bible who comes to life out of death. He died, but he came to life from his death. That is, Lazarus is a man. But in this poem, Sylvia Plath talks about a lady who comes out of her death just like Lazarus in the Bible. So, Lady Lazarus is a female version of biblical Lazarus, or a parodic version of biblical Lazarus. She is in control of her destiny. The speaker in the poem or the poet is in control of her destiny. She controls her fate or destiny. The poem reads like a monologue. One person speaking and another one is listening. The listener's presence is not felt, just felt, but we are not sure whether he is present or not. So the poem reads like a monologue of a suicide carrier, one who made his or her life as a suicide carrier. So it is a monologue of a person who is about to commit suicide. So not one, makes multiple attempts of suicide. So the lady is a depressed lady, depressed speaker or the depressed poet. Immolates herself. She immolates her own body, herself and body in order to emerge in a demonic form. She wants to kill herself, put an end to her own life, to emerge or take birth in a demonic form. She is not happy with the present form of her life or body. See, just like a human being, not that powerful, but she wants to take her birth in a demonic form, in a very, very powerful form to haunt and hurt others. That is her intention. And she wanted to join, as we studied in the previous poem, Daddy. She wants to join her father. So the poem begins, I have done it again. The line, I have done it again. I have done it again means I have made an attempt to commit suicide. And ends with caution, beware, beware. Out of the ash, out of the ash, I rise with my red hair and I eat men like air. You see, the lines are threatening. The These lines at the end of the poem are giving a warning to the people, to a particular section of the people. She warns the people out of the ash. She emerges out of the ash and she rises with red hair on her body, on her head. And she wants all men. She wants to eat men like air. So, eating men is a demonic form. She wants to take her rebirth in the form of a demon. There are series of violent transformations in the poem. The lady undergoes transformations. Her body transforms into many shapes in the poem. And we find so many transformations of the speaker in the poem. She uses brutal metaphors, very harsh metaphors in the poem. Suicide for the speaker or for the poet is just like a walking miracle. It is a miracle, quite easy for her to. So she makes multiple suicide attempts. She managed to commit suicide. She made first attempt, the doctor saved her. She made the second attempt, the doctor saved her. She managed to commit suicide. Her body parts may be used like juice body. She says, let my body be used just like the Germans used the Jews body after killing them in the concentration camp. The Germans used the Nazi skin for Nazi lampshade. They make a Nazi lampshade with the help of Jews skin. They use the foot of a zoo for paperweight. The face has a featureless Jew linen. So the dead body of the Jews is made use of by the Germans. She wants her body to be used in the similar fashion. She identifies herself with the Jews in Germany. The burnt Jew pictures are given. The Jews whose dead bodies are burnt in concentration camps or elsewhere. There we find the nose, eye fits, teeth set, sore breath vanish in a day. Everything vanishes in a day. Jews are burnt in the concentration camps within no time. They are killed mercilessly. Their nose is burnt. We can see only their eye fits or a teeth set. The sore breath vanishes. The life vanishes in a day. The doctors who resurrected Sylvia Plath or the speaker into life look like enemies. They medically resurrected her, medically gave her a rebirth. They transformed the dying lady into a smiling woman again. She was about to die. She made an attempt to commit suicide. But she was saved by the doctor, and it is the doctors who gave her a rebirth. So she got resurrection by the doctors. She was 30 years old then. She says, Every cat has 9 chances to die. She too has 9 chances to die. She made first attempt, second attempt, and she is about to make the third attempt. So, on being restored to life, on being saved by the doctors in the hospital, she was saved medically. We find different reactions of the people. The peanut crunching crowd, the people who are not that serious, who take life very easily, they eat the peanuts and talk on everything. Ordinary people, they rush to see Sylvia Plath, who was saved by the doctors. That is their reaction. They wanted to see the lady who survived the suicide attempt. And there is another section of the people, they are big strive tease. Their intention is to tease even the people who are on the deathbed. They do not show any sympathy, empathy, or any concern for the people. Their intention is to tease or hurt the people. This section of the people unwrap her hand, unwrap her body, unwrap her coat. They want to see her body parts. Stripe tease. They remove her dress. They tease her. Insensitive people. That is another section. That is why Sylvia Plath displays her knees, bones boldly and make them look at her body, because they want to see her body and enjoy the pleasure on seeing her body. So she wants to show her body parts to such people. She shows her knees and bones. She displays. She, or the speaker or the poet, the same identical woman, was restored by the doctor. She wanted transformation in her character. But unfortunately, the doctors who saved the lady who had committed suicide, they gave her new life. But she remained the same lady. There was no transformation in her character. She wanted transformation in her character, in her body. But the doctor saved the same body. So she was not happy with the restoration to life. She had made a first attempt to commit suicide at the age of 10. Second, she was almost killed in an accident but survived. First survival happened. Second survival happened with the help of the doctors. So it repeated again and again. She made an attempt but she was survived. She was saved. In the second attempt, she made the second attempt. She says she had a call from the death again. Death calls her, invites her to join it. So she is very happily wants to kill herself and join death or father in the other world. But these people or the doctors save her every time. She says dying is an art. Dying is an art. It is a skill. And she is exceptionally good at it. These expressions by the speaker tell us very clearly that she did not fear death. She is not scared of death. And she is very good at committing suicide. She knows how to commit suicide. She is exceptionally good, she says. And in her second attempt, she took all the precautions not to be saved again by the doctors or by the neighbors. She wanted to put an end once for all. She took all the precautions not to be saved, not to be identified by the people before she commits suicide. So she rocked shut as a seashell. She closed all the doors and windows of her room. Committed suicide. Again she was saved in a theatrical restoration. It is a miracle. She had never expected that she would be saved again when she made an attempt to commit suicide for the second time. But she was miraculously saved. Again, doctors gave rebirth to her in the broad daylight at the same place with the same pace. She gave her the same pace at the same place. Again, there is no transformation in her body or in character. So, the people, we find different reactions to our rebirth again. Some people who are religious called her survival, a resurrection as a miracle. It is not an ordinary event. She made first attempt, she survived. She made the second attempt, she survived. It is a miracle. They called it as a miracle. And she became an object in the eyes of the people, or a spectacle to be watched. People started pouring in to watch her, see her. They wanted to know whether she is alive or not. If she is alive, how she is after making an attempt to commit suicide. So the people started pouring in and she became an object to be seen by the public. And she becomes a circus act, a showcase piece to be shown to the publics. A fee was fixed to show her. People began to watch her scars and they wanted to hear her heartbeat. They wanted to hear her speak. Some wanted to touch her. Some people wanted to take her blood for a lab test. Some wanted to hair, clothes. Some wanted her hair to be examined or as relics. Some wanted her clothes to use them as relics, memorable things. So people reacted in a different way. Some called her as a miracle. Some looked at her as a spectacle to be watched. And she was a circus actor. Some people gained money by showing her to the public. Some people were interested in her scars. Some wanted to hear her voice. Some wanted to know her heartbeat. Some wanted her blood for examination. Some wanted to use her hair and clothes as relics. So different people reacted in different way after her resurrection or rebirth. Everybody enjoyed her pain, but nobody sympathized with her. Nobody wanted to know the reason why she committed suicide. Nobody was there to empathize with her. But everybody enjoyed her pain. They wanted to gain or derive pleasure in her pain. She casts herself as a victim. She presents herself as a victim. Nazis used ash, bone, flesh of the Jews or body parts to produce things like soap and other things. The body parts of the Jews were used to produce things like soaps and other things, consumables. She wanted her body to be used as a consumable, casts herself as a victim. Jews are the victims in the hands of the Nazis. Similarly, Sylvia Plath, or the speaker in the poem, presents herself as a victim. She identifies herself with the Jews in Germany. At concentration camps, Nazis searched for the wedding rings and valuable things left by the Jews after they are being killed. These Nazis go to the concentration camp. They do not feel for the death of the Jews. They are very much interested in finding the left out rings, wedding rings, or valuable things left by the Jews in the concentration camp. You see how insensitive these Nazis are. So she is very much disgusted. She wanted her body to be used for useful purposes. To the doctors, her body or she is an opus. Opus is a musical work to conduct experiments. After her death, after her suicide, her body is very useful for the doctors to conduct experiments on her dead body. They wanted to know the reason what element in her body caused her to commit suicide. So her dead body is a pure gold baby for the doctors. But she is a victim. She is a circus freak to see and admire her pain. She is a toy in the circus. People want to see her and enjoy her pain, admire her pain. Her life and body a miracle to everyone. So there are different reactions by the people. Then she talks about the ritual death and phoenix rebirth. She does not underestimate the doctor's efforts, even though she calls the doctors are enemies for resurrecting her life or giving her rebirth after her repeated attempts to commit suicide. She does not underestimate the doctor's efforts in saving her life and their concern in restoring her life back. But her intention was different. She wanted to die to rejoin her father, and she wanted to take rebirth in a demonic form to punish the social elements that disturb women a lot. That was her intention in committing suicide. But doctors restored her life again, restored her life back. So she doesn't underestimate, but doctors, she thinks the doctors fail to understand her intentions before, besides committing the suicide. They stopped her from escaping from this distressful life and take rebirth rejuvenated. She wanted to take rebirth in a new way, in a new form, but doctors stopped her. She wanted to escape from this life and wanted to take rebirth in a new form, in a new way. But the doctor stopped her. That distressed her a lot. This made her disappointed. So doctors looked like God and Lucifer. So the doctors who saved her life looked like gods on the one hand, and they looked like Lucifer or Satan or devil on the other, because they troubled her a lot by saving her life. So she warns the doctors and men in particular that she rises like phoenix bird to eat men like air. Phoenix bird is a bird which takes its rebirth on its own ashes. It dies and takes birth. That is why she tells the doctor and the men in society that she one day rises like a phoenix bird in order to eat or punish the men like air. She wants to eat men just like we eat air or breath air. We quite naturally take breath and leave air. Respiration is a process in which we inhale the air and exhale the air. It is quite a natural activity which goes without our notice. So she says she wants to take action or eat people just like we respirate. So she wants to take rebirth in a demonic form, in a very, very powerful form, to punish the doctors and the men who troubled her a lot, because her father haunted her a lot, looked like a Nazi power. She hated these section or a category of men. So she wants to take a demonic form to punish these people. So we find transformation of Lady Lazarus in her mode. There is a transformation in her mode. As we go through the entire poem, we come to know the transformation of Lady Lazarus' mode. You see in the first part, she pours out a burning inner life. She is very, very mild in her nature in the first two stanzas. She pours out burning inner life. She talks about her inner life. It is burning. She is very, very mild in the first part, where she pours out her burning inner life. In the next part, she reports suicide attempts. In the next part, she talks about her suicide attempts. I am only 30. I have 9 times to die just like a cat. She reports whatever happened in her life. In the next part, she barks at strays people. The people who wanted to enjoy looking at her body parts. She barks at those people. She barks at them like dog. She shows them her body parts. You see, this is my hand, this is my knee, this is my head. She barks, humiliates them, hurts them. She becomes stronger. In the last part, she warns, beware. She warns the doctors and the men that she would devour all men in demonic form. It is the men who trouble her a lot. They looked at her as a circus feat. They looked at her as a miracle. They did not show any sympathy or empathy. They did not allow her to die and take rebirth. So these people looked like the obstacles in her way, enemies of her life. So she wanted to take rebirth in the demonic form. So she warned all the men, wait, I will come back and in a new form and kill you, devour you one after the another. So the lady gathers up her energies for assault on her enemies. In the poem, a mild lady becomes very, very strong. She wants to take rebirth in a demonic form. She becomes more and more powerful as the poem progresses. And she gathers all her energies to assault on human beings or enemies like doctors and Nazis who killed the Jews in concentration camps. And she wants to take revenge on men in particular. So in the poem, the speaker or the poet, who is a mild lady, emerges or rises on her own strength, unlike Lazarus, who came to life with Jesus' help. In the biblical story, Lazarus came to life with the help of the Jesus Christ. But in this poem, Lady Lazarus emerges or rises on her own strength. She does not take the help of others, God or somebody else. She is more like a mythical bird, phoenix bird. She storms into life. Earlier she was reduced to a circus object, but later transformed herself into a more powerful lady. Somewhere in the middle of the poem, after her suicide attempt, people started pouring in to look at her body. They wanted to speak to her. They wanted to take her hair, blood for samples for examination. Then she was treated just like an object. But towards the end of the poem, she transforms herself into a more powerful human being, powerful form, demonic form. So, Lady or Sylvia Plath shares her own confessional elements in the poem. Confessional means some unpleasant things of her life which are unbearable, very embarrassing to share with others. She shares with the readers or with the people some very very unpleasant, unbearable, and embarrassing details of her life. So she is very very confessional in the poem. Let us try to assess our understanding of the poem. The word Lazarus means one who was born after death, one who was helped by Lucifer, one whom God helped, one who helped the poor. The word Lazarus means one who God helped. Jesus Christ helped Lazarus to take rebirth, or he restored his life. That is why Lazarus means one whom God helped. The mythical bird in the poem, the poet refers to in the poem is peacock, red robin, crow, phoenix. The mythical bird the poet refers to in the poem is phoenix, which dies and takes its birth on its own ashes. According to Lady Lazarus, death is a skill, a threat, end of life, an art. According to Lady Lazarus, death is an art. In the poem, Lady Lazarus identifies herself with Nazis, Americans, Jews, Germans. Lady Lazarus identifies herself with the Jews. In the poem, Lady Lazarus is a biblical character, mythical character, Puranic character, fictional character. Fictional character. Lady Lazarus is a fictional character in the poem. And these are all the sites that I visited for preparation of this presentation. Thank you for watching.